Please like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell down so the Ghost of 13-month series doesn't get you and you can stay notified. I know I've been starving you guys a little bit, Tower God people. I'm back. I'm here. I'm rejuvenated. We're gonna get some content done this year for sure, for sure. I do want to start with a quick preface. There's been some terms of services and guideline updates in terms of webtoons and Aver and stuff like that. So you might have to see a couple of changes in terms of me being on camera more often than panels because they're cracking down on that. It's making it really a lot harder for it to be creative. I'll figure it out. I'll try to find some type of loophole, but bear with me for a little bit on that while we figure it out. Um, I'll talk about Shinsu today. Been thinking a lot about different narratives that I read, play, watch, and the power systems and magic systems they have, and whether or not they were good. This actually stemmed from a conversation that I had with one of my Bleach friends because he's been watching the Thousand Year Blood War stuff, and I've always said that I think that Taite Kubo had kind of stymied himself a little bit by making Bankai only have two levels with Shikai and Bankai. Sorry, the Zanpakuto have two levels. And I always thought that like there came a point where like seeing a Shikai release or Bankai release became like, okay, like I've seen this a million times. Like I'm bored. You know what I'm saying? And I think to some degree he understood that because I would argue that he tried to in some ways like how many versions of Zangetsu have there been, and then like Zabimaru perhaps not having its proper name and things of that nature, but that's beside the point. I've always thought that SIU did the complete opposite by kind of not limiting Shinsu in any way, shape, or form. It was just like Shinsu is the world, it's the sky, it's the grass, it's the unga bunga, like it's everything. As much as we use it for combat, it is also the tool that kind of makes up the air and the sky and the things that we see. So it's got a real world building lore level application that maybe some other types of energies are not. Where it's like some worlds have it, like ether makes up the grass, something like that. If you want to think of maybe something like Xenoblade, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I thought that he did the opposite, but I was very disappointed sometimes where I felt that all he did with Shinsu was beams, 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 beams. I think in terms of its world practical use, in terms of like again making things, again, like I said earlier, like the orb in the sky to create the illusion of the sun, and that's all been completely, in my opinion, fine. I don't have an issue with that. It's usually when we're applying it in different ways to weapons and combat, fisticuffs, might makes right, where I think that he's been lazy a little bit because it just beams. Now, that's been remedied a lot lately. And you might be surprised to hear me say that I still think Shinsu is a good power system and still has the ability to be a great, fantastic masterclass level power system. I really do like Shinsu property conversion. The Bang and Soul Mune, I probably got that wrong stuff. I don't think that matters anymore. But even like tension, how much power you can pack into an orb, orbs being elemental, you could probably gonna see a water, maybe a rock orb. The Shinsu shape, again, the Shinsu quality. I like to call it Shinsu property conversion. I think that makes more sense. Like Jian Sula and flame users, pressure users, circle users, like all of that's cool. Plus the additive, like passive Shinsu abilities, like we've seen, like with Yama. Like if you are scared of him and you feel any fear towards him, it's just like that doesn't work. 0 0 0 0 damage above my head. It don't work no more, right? Seeing Jordan have cool lock-on techniques, binding techniques, canine transformation being a kind of form of like Shinsu boosting and actually changing the properties of your body physically. We have seen actually when you really take it from top to bottom in all applications, we've seen Shinsu use pretty well. I just think that he's been a little lazy with beams for the most part. Then we've seen it kind of more applied in a martial arts aspect with maybe a Hajin Sung and Caliban, because Caliban tends to mostly punch stuff. And then they're technicians and martial artists in the Ha family, so you see a lot of that too. So actually, I don't think Shinsu is a bad system. I was having a conversation with my friend. He also reads Tower God, and he was thinking, it's like mid. It's already kind of gone past. It's like it's too late for it to be good. I actually disagree with that. I really do. Um, I think Shinsu was in a fine place for the most part, especially since now I do believe he's been trying to do a bit more with it, even with some weird like weaponry stuff with like Donghei there's like prerequisites of having pure of heartness and this and that and the third, and like souls, burning souls, like different ways to apply power and things like that. So I actually want to ask the question, extend it to you guys, the audience, about what you think about Shinsu in general as a power system, magic system, energy system as applied to the narrative Tower of God. And I'm gonna read through your comments in the live stream after the fact, give it some time, and then we're gonna talk about it together and discuss it. So let me know what you think. But as much as I think the power scaling in this series is completely lopsided, doesn't make any sense. It's just kind of whatever happens, happens, and there's a lot of internal consistency problems. I don't think Shinsu is like beyond saving. And I do think like and there's a lot of cool things I like. Like, I don't know if you guys know how I always harp on like the mystery, the golden needle of Mystery Island, like in Mystery Island Real. I'm trying to go there. I know you see blue orb. I'm in the blue from you love. I know you see the blue orb going crazy, bro. I know you see it. So put respect on his name. But yeah, Shinsu's fine. It's fine. I have no problem with it right now. For now. Patreon gang. Shout out to the Patreon gang. Yes, sir. Shout out to my certified BAM lovers. I appreciate y'all deeply. Gotta give a big shout out to the Priest of Fire. That's the real CBL, brother gang. You already know what it is, but especially gonna give a huge thank you to my tier threes, the fifth Zen Gods. Shout out to Zodiac, Sonny Katapali, Simi, Silo, Shoddy to your body, Scobe, Revenant, Lucky Roo, Lazy Dragon, Chris, Johnny Rogers, Jacob Holland, Irene Sharda, Fitz, Triss, and my boy Abdel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.